This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the PENEEEEE Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down-on-their-luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some PENEEEEE their way.
Right in moral theory if this was a fucking, pure babyface heel situation, but this was a heel program. There were no baby faces.
Welcome. Been first, man. Y'all forever last, I'm forever everlasting. Mashing on the gas, bypassing all the has-beens. In that sense, I'm that shit in that sense. Inhale it, breathe it, embrace it. Crepes is not as flat as you natives of fake is. So I take this and shine and provide illumination, but niggas stay in the dark and I'm starting to get impatient. 15 is the age of the teenager, roaming with a mind full of gold, no pager. A circle of squares is what shaped us, and to the sus, feel free to hate us. Unchained, untamed, fast lane and fat chain, and throw them on a playlist, label it the greatest. Unleaded premium, large, not medium, say cheese, bitches body seize upon meeting us. Man.
Alright. How's it going, people? So, apologies in order as usual because, I'm usually messing something up, right? Right. So, at the time of me recording this, there should have already been 2 videos out following the Medicare situation. I may or may not have messed up in some way, shape, or form as it pertains to the audio file that I needed to edit because I needed to put something in at the last minute. Did it really need to be there? Not necessarily. It was like 5 minutes of me ranting that honestly I thought it was pivotal to the overall point, but whatever. Point being is I may have messed up the audio file in some way, shape, or form. Diggs, as well as 2 other people, are trying to work on that to get that squared up. Hopefully those 2 videos will come up before this one. If not, they will follow it. For sure. But at the current point, it's probably been like 10 days, maybe 12 days since that video has come out, and since that last video has come out, and my apologies. You should have had at least 2 more since then. Especially since I ended up falling under the weather again, and I was kind of like, couldn't speak for like 3 days, or whatever the case may be. So, that's the thing. Anywho, so like I said, my apologies on that, and so hopefully things kind of get back into rhythm moving forward. We will see. And that's that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom, and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about today? What is it that is so goddamn interesting in Goutopia that needs to be spoken about in such a way that I need to apologize beforehand? Well, pretty much anything and everything that I ever mess up, which is quite a bit if any of you have been around for any period of time. But I have no problem with pointing out my shortcomings, unlike some people. Speaking of shortcomings, we're going to talk about Darksydephil. We're going to talk about Moist Critical, or I'm just going to call him MC. And MC has declined to do the interview, which I had told you, honestly, in our last broadcast, he wasn't going to do it anyway. It doesn't behoove him to do so. He is someone, MC, Moist Critical, does reactionary content, or he talks about subject matter that is relevant to at the time, or to him, or whatever he feels that is interesting to him, I should say. And a lot of the ways of a Medicare, I'm not saying that Moist Critical and Medicare are the same, but you get my drift. But in a Medicare type way, in a Josh from Kiwi Farms type way, in a way a lot of people approach internet stories, if you will. It's not really journalism, it's just you reacting to shit. So, which is ironic that DSP would literally be on his hands and knees, or on his hoofs and knees, trying to suck off MC knowing damn well that you've talked shit about people who do reactionary content and said it's lazy, it's useless, it doesn't require any talent. But then again, that's even more ironic because DSP does that himself. And it's been in a decline since he started, like everything else DSP does. But we can go ahead and LARP and laugh about that another day. Anywho, apparently Moist Critical wasn't interested. He was on his own podcast with 4 people, and he had spoken about it, saying he's not going to happen. It never was going to happen, just like I told you. And DSP, when he said, Moist Critical will end up saying that, it's not that deep. What he's actually, my interpretation of that is DSP isn't relevant to him. This whole interview thing is not something that Moist Critical gives a shit about, so why would he need to pursue it? And more importantly, as I've told you, there is way more to come out of reacting to the interview than doing it. Now, I don't want to spoil it for you, but DSP and his typical bitch-made self, oh, it's no big deal. I have other people, on the back burner anyway, so I'm going to be fine no matter what, yada, 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 which is similar to what Rich from Review Tech USA said about DSP when DSP refused to go on his podcast all that time ago. So there's that. Interesting thing, though, before we get into this, is that all the people as of late who said that they reached out to DSP for an interview or had some correspondence and DSP basically shut them down. Josh from Kiwi Farm said that he reached out to him, said nothing came out of it. Medicare says he hasn't heard anything back from DSP, so it is what it is on that. Destiny said that there was correspondence between the two of them, and essentially they just didn't go anywhere, or DSP abruptly stopped, whatever the case may be. Which is even more ironic because DSP wants to shit on Medicare, saying that, oh, look at his fan base, look at his audience, yada, yada, yada. If my memory serves me correctly, didn't Destiny say that there may very well be uses for CP? And doesn't he also have what would be considered a positive outlook on incest? And doesn't he... It doesn't matter. That's not something that you guys really care about at the moment. If you want to go out and look for all that stuff yourself, you can find it. On top of that, he's in a situation with some other dude who is a proud pedo, and now he's whatever. You guys don't care about that shit. If you do, you can look it up. You can find it. So Destiny was definitely not exactly the most. It wasn't exactly. No one's clean is the point I'm trying to make. No one's clean. No one is squeaky clean that you can just use anybody and none of their bullshit's going to come on you. It's on the internet like in real life, Phil. Everything is give or take. You know what I'm saying? There is a whole lot of give or take and shit. So I don't know why you're acting like a bitch about this shit. All these guys have bigger audiences than you. You're not going to really convert any of them over. As I said, DSP is obviously looking for another Brightside Viking, or at least a few of them. He's probably not going to get it out of those audiences because they are deeply entrenched and loyal, something you know very little about, Phil. They are loyal to those individuals in question, so they weren't going to go out of their way to give you money. And if they did, it would be sympathy bucks in the same way that fucking Catherine may give you a sympathy blowjob on your birthday or whatever. It doesn't mean anything. She just did it because she felt bad. So it would have been no different with those audience members and whatever money they decided to throw at you. But you have made your entire existence, not only your life in IRL, but on the internet, has been based off sympathy. The only reason why you're at where you're at is because people were sympathetic to you. Well, sympathy doesn't really do much for you, does it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't actually make you better. What you did is you took that sympathy and you figured out a way to try to weaponize it. You've done that amongst your audience. You've done that for people outside of your audience. You've done that to your detractors to some extent, which is wild. The few detractors who have real common sense, who have sat there and listened to your bullshit day in and day out and thought there might have been something for you. Like, in that there might be hope for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm one of these people who have been accused of this before, of giving DSP advice and so on and so forth. Here's where the meta comes into play, so to speak. I can't speak for all detractors, but take this as you will. I think when most detractors, I'll say speak for myself, I should say. When I give advice or I speak on what DSP says and I give it like not necessarily a positive outlook, but I give him options, or I give him what he could do, because I'm never really going to tell DSP what he should do. And if I do, I'm mocking him when I'm doing it, because I'm an asshole. But when I say what DSP could do, it really, how that should be translated or interpreted is any of you who are making content out there, or maybe just have something going on in your life at the moment, you could take that scenario and somehow, some way, it's not that it's that hard, and apply yourself to it. And you could, it gives you a chance to look at your options, to broaden your horizons in a lot of ways, yeah? Life experience is crucial. And though most people, you can tell them something and they can learn from it, or they can apply it in a practical way. Or some people have to kind of go through it. There's a lot of things in life that you don't need to go through. You know what I'm saying? And so using DSP as an example has been a useful thing for me, certainly, to point out his nonsense, because it's shit that could trip anybody up. It's very easy to get on this internet bullshit, right? Because maybe you don't feel like you're getting the respect or notoriety in real life. You come to the internet, you build yourself up a following, and it's very easy to get sucked into it. Perfect example of that is look at King Cobra JFS, sorry. Look at that nonsense. That's someone who has never been shit for shit. Now, keep in mind, you know what I'm saying? The guy has fucking autism, he has Asperger's, he has a lot of problems. And in his pursuit to be normal, I'm digressing a little bit. In his pursuit to be normal, he's just turned himself into an alcoholic. He wants so badly to be able to fit in, but yet still be unique, that he's just turned into a bum. That's it. And then all day he spouts off, oh, my trolls can't live without me. Oh, if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't exist. Oh, they're obsessed with me, yada, 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 yada. But this is the same ass clown, right, who opens himself up for it. Purposely. Every day he sets himself up for this shit. When if you follow him in any type of way, you know what I'm talking about. When he takes those breaks, which are usually about 2 to 3 days, that's him trying to recharge, essentially, because that shit is exhausting. But that's all he has, because he doesn't have a job. All he does is go online, give money to my Cash App, give money to my, I don't know if it's PayPal, or probably to his PayPal, and then he sits online and he gives his opinions about shit that he doesn't really fully understand. Or even if he does, he doesn't know how to express himself, so it comes out wrong, or it comes out weird, or it comes out awkward. For example, and I guess it was last weekend, maybe, at the time that I'm recording this, he went over to some guy named Walt and his wife's house. Are they selling him drugs? I don't know. Are they providing him drugs and he provides them something? Who couldn't say? It doesn't matter. The point being is that he keeps going over there, he spends time with them, or he enjoys hanging out with them, yada, yada, yada. They have a daughter that he's obsessed with, clearly. Cobra is clearly obsessed with that girl. In a very, very unhealthy sort of way. And because he's already been rejected, he tries to play it off like it's no big deal, but he keeps going over there because it's his only way of being close to her. You can watch enough troll content over there and you'll see exactly what I mean. But here's the point. The trolls end up getting the phone number for Walt and his wife or whatever, so they start calling the house. They start calling their cell phones. Now, there is a point where Cobra is holding these people's house phone, and they're both pleading with him almost, please don't pick up the phone. Please don't pick up the phone. Do not do this. Don't. Okay? You're only feeding into their bullshit. Please stop. You can see him struggling to not press the fucking receive button so he can sit there and talk shit about him. It's like 15 seconds, maybe 20. And then he immediately is like, I own you guys. You guys are fucking idiots. No, no, no. And then he hangs up. And from then on, he basically fucked those whole people's Sunday up, because all the trolls did was go harder and harder at that house. It wasn't even about Walt and his wife or whatever the case may be. It was about fucking up Cobra's. It's about eliminating Cobra's comfort spots and/or comfort spaces, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And they're picking him off bit by bit. On top of the fact that he's clearly obsessed with their daughter, and that shit's unhealthy, and who knows what he'll end up doing. But it's also like when Cobra goes to all the different bars around Jasper, Wyoming, wherever the hell he's from. And if Cobra decides to stream from there, people are going to call the bar and fuck with him. He does that on purpose because he knows what's going to happen. He knows that if he streams from somewhere, people are going to call that spot, and he likes the attention. He likes the attention that it gives, even if it's a detriment to him. Sounds like some other lol cows we know. So it's the same type of concept as it pertains to that. He's fighting really hard to be normal. And a lol cow is not normal. Because if they were, they wouldn't react to the shit that they react to. They would learn how to ignore it. All of them sit there and say they got tough skin and they ain't got shit. It is what it is. So this right here is no different. If you're fucking moist critical, why do you want to put yourself into that situation? That's lame. And that's dumb. And he knows DSP is just going to lie to him anyway. So most people are making the argument, well, why don't he just go to Rich? Because there's no benefit to going to Rich. Rich is a bottom feeder just like DSP is. To be honest with you. If anything, and after this we'll just get into the actual shit itself. When you think about DSP's legacy, right? Or the people that he's influenced, not just Derek or whatever, however the way you pronounce that. But just his mark on the internet. People like Rich are going to be basically just thrown right into the trough. Same thing with Monday Matt. Same thing with people like Susie Lou. People who took themselves too seriously. People who broke the unwritten rule on the internet, or at least on YouTube, where you don't fall false copyright strike or DMCA people. Rich is, and I had a conversation with Agent Proper or Prop about this not too long ago. Big ups to Agent Proper and the DIA and whatnot. Look forward to streaming with him soon. That Rich is just trying to portray himself in a better light than DSP is, but really they're cut from the same fucking cloth. Or if nothing else, Rich is just cut from DSP's loincloth. That smelly, disgusting fabric. That's all Rich is. He's just a byproduct of that, and he always will be. He always will be. And that's why he's so desperate to get DSP into an interview. He wants to, and it's true. He is going to go in there. He's going to trap DSP. He's going to lie. He's going to say whatever he has to say to get him into that interview. And once he does, he's going to hit him with the hard facts. He's going to hit him with hard questions, and he's expecting DSP to leave. That's what he wants. And he's waiting for that gotcha moment. The problem is DSP knows it. DSP is not going to put himself in that situation. It doesn't benefit him to do it, and he already knows how it's going to all play out. And the fact that Rich continues to keep pursuing him only reinforces it. So essentially, you got two losers lying to each other constantly, right? And really and one doesn't want anything to do with the other. You want to know why? Because every time DSP looks at Rich, he sees himself. And he knows it. And he can sit there and say whatever he wants to make him sound like he's better than Rich, but he's not. He's the exact same. He really is. Or he's a byproduct of DSP's bullshit. And that'll never change. Rich doesn't want to see it that way, so he doesn't draw too much attention to it. But if you've ever seen Rich act like an asshole to the people who quote-unquote troll him, Mr. Oh, I've got this thick skin. Oh, I've gone through some of the same stuff DSP has. I know better. I understand, and I've gotten better over it. Fuck that bullshit. You're no different. You're a scumbag just like he is. And time will, and sooner than later, the right troll will come along and will blow fucking Rich's whole bullshit up on his stream, and then Rich will do what Rich normally does. Make an apology video about how he lost his cool and shit, and how he should know better, and he's just going through it, and yada yada yada, and then he'll go right back to his fucking streaming channel and do whatever the fuck he does over there, whatever cucumbers and fucking porcelain cocks that he is always kissing on, or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Most people would say, well, at least he's embracing his localism. That's not really the case. Rich doesn't have a choice. He has to. Because in the quote-unquote tech field, or tech sector, he's nobody of nobody. And then coming off of that situation with Quantum, I'm not saying that Rich didn't have a right to speak on that situation, but look at how YouTube reacted to it. They were looking at getting rid of Rich long before Quantum. And Rich understands that. He understands that his million subs don't mean jack shit. Rich understands that, yeah, you can get into a conversation with Mutahar and some of these other guys, but those guys aren't nearly in any type of threatening type of situation like yourself. Having a million sub channel doesn't mean shit if you have a really fucking bad reputation or if you have a really bad history to follow it. Mutahar don't have that shit. Moist Critical don't have that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really look at Rich's past, you can kind of see what I'm talking about and where all that comes about to. But maybe a cute pup in a sharp suit might actually go ahead and do a couple of broadcasts on that. I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, the Moist Critical interview is not happening. Ha 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 all around. I'm going to go ahead and show you the initial video. I will also have Diggs go ahead and link in the description. I think that was Aqua Teal who was the first person to have that. So I'll link Aqua Teal's version of that down in the description. And I guess that's that. I guess that's my good deed for today. And then we'll go over DSP's response, which I'm not sure. Actually, hold on. Look at my notes because I'm a professional. Diggs has his own rendition of that, so we're going to go ahead and just go with that since it's been cut in-house anyway. And that's it. That's our broadcast. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And hopefully you guys are all doing well. And, you know, it gives you guys a bit of an insight to the nonsense that's about to come about. Because it's fun times all around, right? Right. I'll see you guys in a second.
Make shit, you crave this, it's greatness. You can't attain this like bad grades for agents. I'm grade A-list, lift the speaker, you can taste it. We out. Peace. Still never know, this could ever, where it goes when it's gone, and forever.
You were going to interview DSP, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, I saw that. That's just, I'm not doing that.
So well,
what?
Do what? Apparently, he's like he doesn't get mad at you. He's blocked my ass because I've watched too many of those hate videos. But apparently, you get the fucking pass because you know it's like Moist Critical. He just looks up DSP Gaming and he just sees all the bad videos. I don't even blame him. What?
Yeah, no. So
yeah, I know I've been out of the loop just a little bit with this, or at least I'm just behind because always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. But apparently, because Moist Critical was, or MC, was critical of DSP's begging and equating that to the bullshit that Boogie's doing, even though Boogie's taking that shit to a whole nother level, DSP tried to actually stop begging for a couple of days. That's like an alcoholic saying they're going to stop drinking, yet they have multiple cupboards in their house full of alcohol. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Anyway, let's see here. Where did this actually come from? Oh no. This is what I was telling you guys about me not being professional. Here we go. Excuse me. Alright, so this right here is from MC's channel, or Moist Critical's channel, or Penguin O's channel. It's from November 11th of 2020, our current year of Gout. The link to this will be down in the description. This is from their podcast. Anything about the title? It's called The Official Podcast number 310. Onlyfans is getting wild. So there you go. I can also have them put a timestamp down for you, but Diggs has it here that this started at 1 hour, 6 minutes, and I guess 45 seconds into the podcast, if that helps anybody. Anywho, here we go.
I was just talking about, so to tie everything back, I was talking about Boogie and like the e-begging stuff. And then I likened it to DSP, whose whole brand has become like, you know, making sure his viewers are giving him money, or else like he
he has no time to do anything and he's so busy.
Very similar. Yeah. So I compared the two. DSP saw it and he made like a response to it and then was requesting an interview. I don't fucking interview people. I was just talking on stream about the shit. Like, it's not that deep. But to tie it all back to Boogie's OnlyFans.
Well, there you go. There was no reason for him to do the interview. It's not that deep. Yet again, his audience is used to him reacting, or just in general talking about subjects that are that he finds interesting or relevant. He's not here to try to get fucking other people's side of the story or whatever the case that will be. That's not his bread and butter. That's just him staying in his lane. he can let other people do that nonsense. So, anywho, I already told you how that was going to play out. And yet again, I stay to this. If there was two people, I don't know about who the third is. For all we know, DSP is lying, and there's probably only one person anyway. But if there were two people that DSP really wants to interview him now that he can't get Moist Critical or MC, and he's already burned bridges with PewDiePie forever ago, it's either Nick Rekieta or it's Frederick Knudsen or Down the Rabbit Hole. Those are his only two options. Those are honestly maybe some of his best options. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else is it's not going to benefit anybody either which way, but for everybody else, they have nothing to lose by going at him. And if DSP runs, I mean, that kind of makes them look good. You know what I'm saying? Or at least they'll make them look good in the detractor community anyway. So there is no win-win for anybody at the end of the day. And more importantly, DSP is not going to tell you guys anything that you guys don't already know. All he's going to do is fucking ramble off his fucking typical life story bullshit, which apparently starts after he got fired from the helicopter job and whatnot, which he got that through nepotism. And he ended up coming to YouTube, and then he ended up making a bunch of different mistakes, which ended up getting him kicked off a blip. Well, got him booted out of the AdSense, the Google AdSense, got him kicked off a blip, ends up coming back to YouTube, ends up sucking off Hutch to get onto Machinima, and then he ends up fucking that deal up 6 years later, or 7 years later, whatever it was. You know what I mean? His life doesn't revolve around anything. DSP doesn't have anything to talk about. Let me try to be brief about this, and I'll try to go, now that I feel like it, now that I'm thinking about it, I should say. I might actually just do a separate video, and I'll actually break all that down. In an interview, right, people need something to relate to. DSP is not a gamer. Just because, and this goes for a lot of people, honestly, just because you play games doesn't make you a gamer. Let's just be honest. You're just someone who enjoys playing games. That's all. But that doesn't make you a gamer, because your life doesn't revolve around gaming. Right? Do you think about gaming every single moment, or are you a fucking adult and you got shit to do? You know what I'm saying? You may have been a gamer when you had the time for it, but realistically speaking, the majority of us have jobs, we have responsibilities. You game on the side. You game when you have time. But that doesn't necessarily make you a gamer, and I think most people would understand where I'm coming from when I say that. DSP is not a gamer. He's a poser trying to present himself as a gamer. Because DSP needs a title. He needs something to associate himself with other people, to relate to other people. He uses that as a shield, as a blanket, as window dressing, whatever you want to call it. So anything that prevents people from seeing him for what he is. And what is DSP at his core? What is Darksydephil at his core? What is Phil Burnell at his core? He's a loser. He's an angry little man who has failed at everything that he's ever done. He's someone who's had a bunch of advantages and yet looked at what other people had and wished that he could have had that, even though he would have ended up squandering those opportunities either which way. And in truth, there's nothing to him. So when you get him into an interview, long before you want to hear his drama and his wee, you want to hear about the man. And I use that term loosely. You want to hear about the person. And there's nothing to him. There's nothing to his marriage. There's nothing to... He has no friends. He barely talks to his family. For Christ's sake, the man's 10-year plan is waiting for his parents to die off so he can get his inheritance. This is an idiot who went ahead and got bankrupt, or this is an idiot who ran up between 13 and 14 credit cards, as well as 2 business loans, possibly 3, to sustain a YouTube channel. But in truth, it's not really that. It was to maintain his lifestyle, the way he was living, and hoping that the YouTube channel comes around so he could pay the money back. He's not someone who's ever conducted business, nor does he know anything about business. That business degree or whatever is a sham. His ACE certification is a joke in its own right. And he talks about, oh, they spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. Motherfucker, that was in-house. That was in-house. It doesn't mean anything to them. If they send 20 people to that certification and 15 of them, hell, if 12 of them pan out, it paid for itself and some. Everybody else is kind of, and for everybody else, it's whatever. You know what I mean? But keep in mind, he wouldn't have even been in the job, or he wouldn't have even gotten the job at the helicopter company if it wasn't for his father, who had been there for 20 plus years. So nepotism is what got him in there. And DSP has spoken about that. Oh, well, it wasn't nepotism. They saw, yeah, my father worked there for a long time, but when I applied, which his father told him to, by the way, when he finally applied, oh, they looked at what I was bringing to the table, not who my father was, and that's how I actually got the job. He can blow that out of his piggy ass all he wants, but that's obviously not true. Hence the reason why he got fired when he got fired. So, and how he got fired. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and listen to DSP's original coming out video, no pun intended, he even said that, yeah, I got fired. It was a long time coming. And to all those people who still work there, you know, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. You guys don't have to worry about me. But it was a long time coming. He knew he was going to get, you know, ousted out of that job eventually, which is kind of funny because he was just doing customer service for 5 fucking years. His father more than likely got him into the ACE certification program because he was hoping this would motivate him to do other things within the company instead of just sitting on his ass for 5 goddamn years doing the same mediocre bullshit day in, day out. Kind of like what he does now. You guys catch my drift a little bit? A little bit? Maybe not. But in any case, it's that's what it really comes down to. Useless piece of garbage. And the point being is that when you're in an interview, before they want to hear your bullshit and your drama, they want to hear a bit about the person. And there's nothing to them. There's nothing to them at all. And if people can't relate to you on some type of level, through some type of interest, right, outside of what you do for a living, then you got a problem. That's why he holds on to this gamer narrative so goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? And it really doesn't work. Because if as DSP says, if you come to his streams, or if you actually watch his videos and not watch the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics content, you'll see that he's an alright guy. Or at least that's what he tells you. No, what you're actually going to see is a boring, angry little man who can't figure out the basic shit that an average 10-year-old can do, right? And when he doesn't get the money and when he's not making enough money, he bitches and complains about it. The only separation between him and Wings is honest. Hey, Wings is like, yo, I kind of want to make sure I'm getting that $20-something an hour. I feel like I earned that. You know what I'm saying? So his mother can fuck him out of that later too. But DSP, he's not brave enough to say that. He's just saying, oh, well, you know, we need to try to hit that $150 each and every stream. That you know, that's not a lot to ask you guys, right? You guys are here every day, so why can't you guys pony that up? Now that I think about it real fast, and then we'll move on to the bacon and eggs of this whole situation. How is it that DSP is going to call his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics losers because they sit there and watch his content all day, waiting for the gotcha moment, waiting to do their clips and shit so they can make money off of him and just prove that they're the disgusting individuals that he says that we all are. But yet he has the same people who show up to his streams every goddamn day, whether they give him money or not, and they just sit there in front of their computers or TVs or whatever, or on their phones vegetating, and they're not losers? How does that make sense? And matter of fact, if you have the same group of people sitting down vegetating in front of your content every fucking day, how the fuck would they be in a position to make any money to give to you? That's really weird, right? Like, this group over here are losers because they show you for the negative piece of garbage that you are. But the people who sit here every day and watch your shit, and whether they give you money or not, they're still sitting there watching your content all fucking day, and they're not losers. I don't understand. That seems weird. That's absolutely fucking bizarre. Because if one group of people are sitting there watching you all day, and those people are losers, then how aren't these people over here losers? Theories abound. Anywho, let's go ahead and get to the second video. Okay.
Boy Cyclone re-upped his membership for a whopping 19 months. Thank you for the ongoing support. A bit late, did you react to Penguin Zoe's response yet? Penguin Zoe, you mean Moist Critical. I have not fully seen any response. What I heard last night was that I guess he was doing a show, or I guess he does live streams. I don't know. I don't watch all of his content. I just, every once in a while, I see a random video of his in my feed. I watch them. I think that they're entertaining. So I guess he was on one of his shows. Or
a lot of dick sucking there. Let's go ahead and bring this back a little bit so you can catch it. First things first. So, I don't watch all of his content. I watch some clips every once in a while. He had somebody on his show, and they brought me up, but I didn't really watch it, so I don't really know what the context of it is. Despite the fact that he won't say who the guest was, because he knows clearly who it was. And he also makes it sound like it was just MC and this guest, who was Mutahar, by the way. And the other three fellas, womp womp, apparently weren't relevant enough to acknowledge. Or, you know, we couldn't say, hey, he was doing a show, he was doing his usual show with, you know, his, you know, the rest of the guys on the panel, because for all we know, those other guys, you know, most of the people in his audience don't watch, you know what I'm saying, MC or any of his content, so they may not know that there are three other fellows on there plus MC, you know what I'm saying, and a guest every once in a while. So we're already selling the concept short. But then there's another thing. There's another little sneaky little thing that he ain't sat there and brought up. Actually, I'll just go ahead and play the clip from the beginning, where he says, "Oh yeah, you know, there was this YouTube short, whatever that means, that because you know DSP talks like he doesn't understand anything, but then he can explain to you everything. There was this YouTube short out there by someone who actually had the clip and this, that, and the third. And one of the things that really kind of stands out to me is you've watched." And I mean DSP here, he's watched at least 3 different people's content who are detractors, trolls, haters, and critics in almost as many weeks. It's probably actually been only 2 weeks and not 3, but run with me on this. So he said that he watched something from Duty Streams, right? Or Call of Duty. He's watched something from him. Big ups to him on that. He's watched something from Aqua Teal, which is the actual Moist Critical clip that he's about to speak on now. And then there's that one guy. I can't think of his name at the moment. My apologies. But he, like, does clips for Review Tech USA or of Review Tech USA. I can't remember if he's his editor or not. But anyway, but he does clips on that. And he's been kind of gradually going into some DSP stuff because there is crossover, clearly. Because that guy did a video saying that DSP watched one of his clips. So it's funny how DSP is watching all this detractor content all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, like all this stuff is just magically showing up in his feed, even though YouTube's algorithm is set up that if you watch something, you're going to get a whole lot more of it, right? So weird, yet again, another weird situation there that we'll see DSP expose himself on soon. But let's play the original clip from the beginning. We were only like maybe 15 seconds in, and then we'll be right back.
Boy Cyclone re-upped his membership for a whopping 19 months. Thank you for the ongoing support. A bit late, did you react to Penguinzo's response yet? Penguinzo, you mean Moist Critical. I have not fully seen any response. What I heard last night was that I guess he was doing a show, or I guess he does live streams. I don't know. I don't watch all of his content. I just, every once in a while, I see a random video of his in my feed. I watch them. I think that they're entertaining. So I guess he was on one of his
I don't watch his content, but something randomly comes up of his in my feed. I watch it. I enjoy his content. Huh? Okay. Whatever.
Streams, and I guess there was a guest talking to him. I don't know who it was. I've only seen, like, no exaggeration, it was like a YouTube short. So 60 seconds. And basically, the person who was on the show asked him, did you hear what Darksydephil said in response to what you said about him? And he was basically like, well, it's not that deep. You know, I was talking about Boogie. Someone asked me about him. I made a reference to him, explaining how basically he's an e-beggar on his content, and that's it. You know, he's like, no, I'm not going to interview him. I'm not an interviewer. I'm not interested in anything like that. And that's where the short ended. So I have absolutely no idea at all.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me a second. Help. All right, I got some SnortBucks tea next to me. We're good to go. One could make the argument that, hey, DSP is just paraphrasing, so on and so forth, so you can kind of give him a slide on that, which you kind of could. He's very much downplaying what the clip was, but you could give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's just paraphrasing it, yada yada yada. He's not trying to make himself look totally bad, or at least make out what Moist Critical said about him, I should say, not look totally bad. Clearly, though, DSP is setting up to make himself the victim in this clip, which is always hilarious. So I want you to kind of come back to this particular moment mentally, I should say, and think about it right before it kicks in.
If anything else was said, nor do I really care. That was the answer that I was explaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I figured was going to be. I figured the answer was going to be he doesn't care. He watches, let's be honest here, any YouTuber who's of the size of
it wasn't a matter, wait. It's not a matter of him not caring. Not that he has to care about you anyway. Like, it doesn't, yet again, it's not to his benefit to give a shit about you. You're an internet oddity. We already see, if you really want to look at it from a certain type of angle, we already see what it looks like when people try to care about internet oddities. Look at Josh from QE Farms and Chris Chan. And let me give you guys some context. There's a lot of different ways that Chris Chan has fucked over Josh over the years. But the main one was when Chris Chan decided to really be a motherfucker. When he really decided to be a motherfucker, and Josh is basically questioning him on it and be like, hey man, I need you to tell me the truth on this. Did you really do this? Are you really being accused of this? And how did you get this money? How did you, are you accessing Barbara's account? Like, what are you doing? And Chris completely lied to his face on that shit. Chris knew what the fuck he was doing. He can run around with the dopey internet retard idiot shit all you want, but he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. In the same way as your boy Derek, that some of you guys like to go ahead and deal with these little kid gloves, sooner or later, not that I'm wishing upon this because it's going to be bad when he does it, sooner or later, he's going to end up fucking freaking out, and he's going to end up turning into a serial killer and some shit. I know that I usually joke around about fucking that dumb shit with Derek, but that's really what he's coming down to, because the way he views sex and the way he views women, I should say, is getting to the point. Well, look at how he interacts with the porn stars, at least the ones that he's not banned from speaking to, which that list is growing. He comes across in this whole, simp fanboy type shit, right? And he's gotten a lot out of it. He's gotten a lot of these adult entertainment stars, however you want to, fuck it. He's got a lot of these porn stars who react to him in a positive manner, yeah? One day, if he can't fulfill the fantasy of paying a porn star to actually sleep with him, he's going to go more than likely to a prostitute. And when that shit turns out to not be the way he fantasized it, the way it's not done in the porn flicks and whatever, or if she reacts to him in a certain type of way that discourages him, he's going to freak the fuck out. And then he's going to black out. And when he wake back up, that chick's going to be on the ground. There's going to be blood on his hands. And he's not going to know what the fuck he's going to do. And instead of calling the cops, he's going to figure out a way to just dispose of the body. And once a couple days go by, maybe a week or two, and he gets away with it, he's going to develop a taste for it. Derek shows all the signs that early serial killers usually show. And no one wants to call that out because no one wants to see the bad in him. Everybody wants to be like, oh, Derek's just a fucking weirdo and shit, and he follows another weirdo in DSP, so the guy's going to be harmless. Yeah, a lot of people said Jeffrey Dahmer was going to be harmless. A lot of people thought Ted Bundy was going to be harmless. A lot of people think a lot of serial killers were fucking harmless until they were otherwise. Derek has all the fucking makings of it. And it all comes from, or it all stems from, a fantasy that he's going to try very desperately to fulfill. And he's going to find out that it's not going to work out. Now, you can get to the other side of that coin and look at DSP. You want to know why DSP and fucking Catherine are the way they are? Because DSP can't perform. Is it low testosterone? More than likely. But also, DSP was just like Derek. he liked this porn star shit. He was sitting there ogling his fucking statues and that fucking black cat bust and whatever. All those fucking statues that mysterious body parts are broken off for whatever fucking reason, because he got drunk. He was playing with them like they were action figures, trying to relive that whole Wolverine action figure type nonsense, right? And when he finally got with Panda, Panda was a shield. Panda was a curtain. She was window dressing. He was getting up there in age, and he saw all these people on YouTube who had their girlfriends or whatever the case may be, either in vlogs or gaming with them or whatever, and Panda needed to fit that mold. She needed to fit that part. And he never, and I guarantee you, and you actually, this can already be proven, when Panda said in that blog, or she said it on that forum, that, you know, hey, since they had moved, the sex wasn't really there when they were in Connecticut, and it really dropped off when they moved from Connecticut to Washington. So dude was already underperforming. He already had a problem or an issue or whatever the case may be. So him jerking off on stream seems to be par for the course. And then him blaming her and his depression, which caused the incident that caused him to jerk off, is just another situation in itself. But that's what happens when he went for a younger girl, right? And I know most people in the past have called him a Chad for that or whatever. Not really Chad if you can't satisfy, but whatever. It is what it is. And if we're just going to go ahead and handle DSP with fucking, you know, kid gloves, if we're just going to go ahead and feel pity for him and sympathy, then it is what it is, right? But then when you look at Catherine, you have a slightly older woman who doesn't really seem like she wants to be touched too much anyway, or maybe DSP just doesn't know how to touch her, so that's a problem in itself too. Whatever. The point being is that you have two people who kind of don't really want to have to deal with each other, if you will. Not unless they have to. So that works out for DSP. Because now, where he tried to mold Panda into being Mommy Burnell, make sure Din Din's on the table at 7, make sure my clothes are washed and folded and everything, make sure the house is clean, and I'll make sure I'm paying the bills, until he forced her to get a job. And then she kind of grew into her own. Then when she was making her own money, she kind of had her own demands, and he really couldn't live up to any of that, which has caused them to break up. With Catherine, she was in a desperate situation, and she wanted out. Now, how desperate was the situation between her and Superman is still up to debate. A lot of people say, at least from what I've read, he seems like an alright guy, but who knows what was going on in that house. It is what it is. DSP tried to imply that there was abuse, but there wasn't in the way he makes it sound. Dragging her off the Marvel movies is not abuse. She may not have wanted to see those fucking movies, but for most of you fellas out there, maybe most of you ladies too, you've probably been dragged to a fucking movie by, you know, whoever, and you didn't want to, but you dealt with it. It is what it is. That's what you do with your friends, or that's what you do with with people you're in a relationship with, or the people you're vibing with, or whatever. How DSP tried to turn that into abuse is just a whole nother thing in itself. So there you have that. So anyway, the point is that you got two people, and Catherine and Phil, who don't really vibe with each other and only deal with each other when they have to. If you guys remember, if at least the way he portrayed it to us after he couldn't monetize her, right? Oh, well, you know, Catherine's always making all these delicious meals and all this yummy stuff and whatever. And then people figured out very quickly that, oh, they're probably just store-bought shit that, you know, you could find at the store. But the few times she actually did try to make stuff like mashed potatoes with the actual skin still on it with little to no seasoning, and chicken that literally had little to no seasoning, she's not a very good cook either. And then, if I'm going to be a real asshole about it, which I am, because I am an asshole about it, these two rocket scientists couldn't even figure out how to cook a pre-cooked ham. These are the same idiots who their parent, or Phil's parents, actually bought them an air fryer, and they were burning shit in the air fryer. They fucked up French fries, they fucked up pizza rolls, and I think they fucked up like chicken nuggets or something, chicken nuggies, some bullshit. But these idiots couldn't even work an air fryer. They couldn't even cook a pre-cooked ham. So, what does that tell you about the relationship and the brain trust that makes up both parts of it? But that's okay, because as long as he has someone fitting the role that he needs, which is cook for me, clean for me, and yada, 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 everything's all right. Until bad things happen to his business, and then she's downstairs crying all the time. Which is bizarre. It's kind of strange, kind of weird. Semantics, I'm sure. Semantics.
A Moist Critical, you know, those guys, their content is reacting to a bunch of random shit on the internet 90% of the time. That's the kind of content they put out, right? Right. And do they have time to come here and watch my content? No, they don't. What do? Oh, I wonder what the latest drama is today. Let me search for the drama videos about this person. So they're searching for my detractor videos about me, and they see, what did the detractor say today? And they believe that's what's going on. They watch it quick, and then that's what they talk about on their stream. That's what I said. That's the problem with YouTube.
Wait. I'm missing. There's a big thing that's missing out of this. Why aren't they idiots? Why aren't they morons? Why aren't they gullible? Why aren't they Moist Critical and guys like that, right? Of status, if you will. Why aren't they the idiots, the peons, the dumbasses that everybody else is? Anybody ever thought about that? If you watch any detractor content, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking moron. You're gullible. You couldn't even take 5 minutes to go off and find the truth. So let me get this straight. Moist Critical doesn't have 5 minutes to go ahead and watch your lame-ass stream to see how much of a piece of garbage you are? But it's okay for him to watch detractor content. Now, this is funny, because this goes back to a video that James the Lesser did. Big ups to James Lesser. Where Review Tech USA was laying on his back with no woman on top of him, so make of that what you will. And bitching and complaining about how Moist Critical was sitting there, or MC, was getting the fucking pass on all this bullshit, watching detractor content. He was allowed to get away with it, but he wasn't. Or apparently, Mutahar wasn't. Or Medicare, or Josh, or Destiny weren't. Like I said, that was a good video that James did on that. So, yeah, DSP is a hypocrite for all that, but more importantly, he's a cocksucker. Which he always has been. This man has never had any morals whatsoever, which is ironic because he is shitting on all these people, if not directly, indirectly, at one time or another. As I said earlier about how him shitting on people who do reactionary content, right? DSP has plowed into that in a way that he couldn't plow into his wife or his ex-fiancée. Whatever, let's keep it moving. He's plowed into people over that nonsense. But yet we can't say nothing to Moist Critical about that? What, you expect him to just come around one day and be like, yeah, Phil, I'll give you a sympathy interview? Why? He's not Jeremy. He's not the quartering. He doesn't owe you, not say that quartering owed you anything, but that doesn't benefit him. And as I said, the quartering only did that to spite Rich from Review Tech USA. He only did that to so he could basically lob on him. You know what I'm saying? He threw an alley-oop to the no-fly zone, and that's the last one he's throwing. But he did that to spite Rich, not because he really gave a fuck about it. That was 2.5 hours or whatever it was. That was a waste of goddamn time. It is what it was. And more importantly, DSP's not interesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they go to the detractor content in the first place. It's quick, it's easy, it's convenient, gone. Sitting there and listening to and going over DSP's bullshit and a lot of his bullshit or pig shit doesn't mean anything. You're not going to get anything out of it. Oh, you're just a boring, lame idiot. There's no substance to you. When you go to a detractor content, you're getting someone's personality infused into the nonsense. You're getting an opinion that isn't an opinion that has to go with the status quo, which is exactly what DSP is. He's tried to lie to people and say, oh, I'm different from everybody else. Oh, I have my own opinions. I don't go with what's the positive narrative. The fuck is he doing here? You sucking off Moist Critical is no different than any other person who's ever tried to go to Moist for a rub, if you will. No pun intended. But they go to MC for a rub, which is what DSP wants. He wants a rub. He's hoping to get a little bit off of Moist, which is funny because don't you say your detractors, trolls, haters, and critics do that? Didn't you say there would be no Tevin if there wasn't you? Well, if Moist Critical was sympathetic, if you will, enough to go ahead and give you that rub, and if you blew up, Would there really be this new DSP if there wasn't a Moist Critical? Or let's look at it another way. Would there ever really be a Moist Critical interview? Matter of fact, fuck the bullshit. Would there ever be any interview with anybody of relevance if it wasn't for the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics? Let's go ahead and put the cherry on top. Would there really be a debunk interview, or let me set the facts straight without a Tevin? Think about that for a minute. I want you guys to really take that in. Would any of this actually exist if it wasn't for Tevin? If it wasn't for Tevin and the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, would any of this exist? Let's be honest. Would that whole 7 years of debunk, or 6 years of debunk, whatever it was, would that shit even exist if it wasn't for Pro Jared? We got to rub off that too, right? Would DSP exist, period, if it wasn't for people that were sympathetic to him, who thought the best of him or thought he could do better, and then he ended up just failing them? But they were just another stepping stone for him to continue to move forward. So next time DSP sits there and say that all these people are hanging off his coattails or whatever, or his piggy tails or whatever the case may be, think about why he's in that situation. Think about why he's in this situation. Because in truth be told, he wouldn't have been shit on fucking Machinima if it wasn't for Hutch. Which Hutch is currently beefing with Blame Truth right now. It's kind of boring. It's just two old men yelling at each other. But whatever. Over Trump. That's hilarious. Anyway, so there's that. So DSP wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for Hutch. So you still have that part. You look at the FGC, DSP wouldn't be shit for shit if it wasn't for John and Howard, and more importantly, their Japanese Super Turbo machine. He wouldn't be shit for shit if it wasn't for Connecticut. He wouldn't, according to DSP, he wouldn't even be on the tournament fucking trails if it wasn't for T. And that whole meme going on about, DSP murdered T so he could, what did he do? Did he eat T's heart and take on his skills? Clearly he didn't, because T would have done better than fourth place. But I've seen some of that. Some of it's entertaining. Some of it's just, you want to sit down and do a video. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, as DSP keeps rambling off on his bullshit as it pertains to interviews, why he's doing those interviews, and who put him in those positions to force him to actually do it. DSP could have done this 5 years ago. He could have done this coming off of the Escort saga, and it would have been way more impactful. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about all the different players involved and whatnot, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and so let's do some fantasy picking here, right? Let's go ahead and let's do some hypothetical Pignosis, our favorite game, a game we haven't played in a while. If I could have DSP go back 5 years and do an interview, you know who I'd want him to do an interview with? I'd want him to do an interview with Secret Life of DSP. Now, I don't owe Secret Life anything. He don't owe me shit. You know what I'm saying? So I have no reason to choose him out of the bunch outside of his merit, what he knows about DSP, and the type of influence he's had on Darksydephil. Like how Darksydephil keeps lying on him and saying that the 2017 Worst Moments has a segment about Catherine in it, or the Escort saga, I should say, and it really don't. It has you like a preview clip, if you will, for what could come next year. But it's not an entire fucking segment. That's a blatant lie. That's DSP trying to paint a narrative. And yet again, if he has won, quote unquote, the whole Escort saga situation, he proved that we were wrong and yada 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 yada. Why was he trying to take videos down at that time? Why is he still mad about it now? That was probably the most interesting thing that happened to DSP from late 2017 into 2018. He got a lot of attention out of that. For fuck's sake, ladies and gentlemen, if the vest streak existed back at that time, that's $60,000, $70,000 easy. Easy money. Whatever. We can we can talk more about that at a later time. But just something to think about, though.
Is it allows open, blatant mass, either slander, defamation, whatever form you want to say, with zero fact-checking, with zero corroboration of anything being truthful, and there's literally no retaliation that anyone can do to protect themselves from it. Anyone can say anything about anyone they want.
Retaliation and protecting yourself are two separate things. Retaliation, whatever. I mean, you've never been in a fight before, so you wouldn't know anything about that. You haven't been jumped and thought about how you're going to get back at the people who jumped you, so you wouldn't know anything about that either. If I remember correctly, you couldn't even ride a bike because you were scared of them color folks that were around the way. Last time I checked. So, what do you know about retaliation? And what do you know about protecting yourself? Because if you wanted to protect yourself, you wouldn't talk all that dumb shit. And as it pertains to retaliation, let me actually take that back. You do know a little bit about retaliation because of all those videos and all those channels you've had taken down. But how is it slander, defamation, and all that bullshit when the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics say anything? But when you're talking about those game developers, you know what? Let's just go ahead and watch the clip back first. And then I'll be able to maybe coordinate my point a little better.
Quick, and then that's what they talk about on their stream. That's what I said. That's the problem with YouTube, is it allows open, blatant mass, either slander, defamation, whatever form you want to say, with zero fact-checking, with zero corroboration of anything being truthful, and there's literally no retaliation that anyone can do to protect themselves from it. Anyone can say anything about anyone they want and get away with it on YouTube. And
so when you were talking shit about Justine, right, and her sleeping with all those guys at the EA executive offices and shit, so she could get on that video game show, award show. What was that? When you talked about PewDiePie and talked all your shit about him and people like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, what was all that about? When you were calling for developers and game studios to be fired because you felt like they were making shitty games or they were trying to rip people off, where was that about? When you were talking shit about Toby Turner and whatnot, right? And said that he personally fucked you over by having a commercial made. It was about a Madden that year. And you said he don't know shit about sports. He don't know shit about football. Why is he doing it? You don't know shit about football either. And I say either because I don't know if Toby Turner knows anything about sports or not. He might watch sports, but he may just not be good at them. He may watch sports, but he may not know shit about football, sports games. But you went ahead and shit on him heavy for that. You accused him of him going to Machinima, having Machinima purposely put that commercial that he made on your videos, fucking you over because one shouldn't have their competition on their videos. Even though it's an ad, ladies and gentlemen, that DSP is getting paid for when it's being played on his channel. Semantics, though, of course. What about that beef with you and Mitch Dyer? And how you shitted on him for fucking days on end because he had an opinion about, what was that, Double Dragon Neo or whatever the case may be? Let's talk about something that's even less known, Phil. I can't remember what that game writer's name is. She was either a game journalist, or she was a game reporter, or she was a game writer. I can't remember what her name was now. And it was old, too. I stumbled on that a couple years ago. But what about that woman that you were harassing on Twitter for multiple days because she said something about some game? Or it was something about a game. And DSP literally was tweeting at that woman insanely for days on end until she was basically like, hey, this was my opinion. She was really nice about that shit. This is my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Move the fuck on. She didn't say the move the fuck on part. That's just me adding my flair to it. But just move on. You doing all this days on end is not going to get you anywhere with me. My opinion's still my opinion. What about that lady? And then let's go back to the Mitch Dyer situation. Why is it that you attacked Mitch Dyer? Because he had an opinion about a game that you were about to play and that you had overhyped, and you were afraid that if that shit ended up hitting the public and it was perceived in a certain type of way, that was going to fuck over your playthrough. Yet all the other people who were making video game content at that time didn't do that. Just yo dumbass. What about Tevin? Let's go back to Tevin. What about him being a criminal? What about him being a thief? What about him being obsessed with you? And him being a liar? What about that? Actually, what about Evil AJ? What about how you said, because he made the "this is how you don't play" on you, you were scared that he might come to your house and fucking murder you? What about that? Anybody? Does anybody need any more examples? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and continue to move on. But he wants to talk about people going online and saying whatever the fuck they want to say, essentially out of their ass, without any proof or evidence. But what about all the accusations that he's put on people? He's put it on game developers as well as game publishers. He's done it against other content creators, streamers, against YouTube itself. What about all of that? What about all of those situations? What about the top 10 racist moments? But DSP's not racist. He's just bad at racial humor or whatever. I don't have a racist bone in my body. I don't know anything about racism. Oh, well, when I was with the when I was in the FGC, there was a lot of kind of racist stuff that went along there. And that's kind of where I learned a lot of that from. But I've outgrown that now, guys. I'm better for it. Semantics. I'll say. And DSP being a true coward, I'm talking to you and you can't even look at me. It's all right. I can understand why you can't face your father. That's why you always have to run to your mother. Some men can't look in the face of the killer. What are you gonna do?
Information campaigns about me, right? And you know, people get the wrong impression, and then they talk about it on their content, and now all of a sudden, DSP is one of the worst content creators ever made. It's like, did you actually watch a single one of my streams? Obviously not, because if you did, you would understand what you're saying literally is not happening on my streams, or not to the extent that you're overemphasizing it, right?
Well, wait a second. Yet again, can't look in the face of your own killer. How is it that, yet again, they're misjudging your content, right? When all these compilations of your content are out there that prove such, or that prove that you are as bad as you say you are, or as people say you are, I should say. Aren't you the same person? And I haven't got a chance to report on this yet, but I look forward to doing it, as long as, you know, everything holds up, of course. But didn't you call for another content creator to be harassed because they supposedly fucked up on the first major boss fight of God of War Ragnarok? Am I lying about that, ladies and gentlemen? Did I make that up? Did he not say, why don't people go out and do "this is how you don't play" on them? Why don't people go and give them a hard time? How the fuck, how is it fair that this person can mess up on the easiest boss in the game, despite the fact that it's theorized that this person was playing it on the hardest difficulty? As most people, I think Maximilian dude is playing, is doing his first playthrough, and I think he's playing on a harder difficulty. I don't know if he's playing on the hardest, but I think he's playing it on a harder difficulty. No word of that has come out of DSP's mouth yet, or out of his snout. Give it time, maybe. But how is it that he's calling for us to go after this individual, right, and ridicule this person and make it "this is how you don't play" on this person, big ups the Outsider and everybody else who does those things? And yet, isn't he the same person who said, "You guys are fucking up my life. This is how you don't play screws me over. These detractor videos or these slanders videos screw me over. Why can't you guys leave me alone?" Matter of fact, didn't DSP just recently say that if we gave him a year, if all of us basically took a year off, that DSP would be in a much better place? So you want us to take a year off just to come back and tear you down? Is that what he's asking for? Well, theoretically, Phil, theoretically, and I'm just only speaking for myself on this, I was off for like 5 months. So theoretically, I could theoretically give you like 7 more months, maybe. The holidays are coming up though, so let's say 6 months maybe. So, I mean, theoretically I could do that, but it doesn't really matter, because if you don't have the quote-unquote hate, you can't propel yourself forward. You don't have any energy. I mean, yeah, you can keep shitting on these developers and everything, but they've already kind of proven that you're nothing more than the proverbial monkey going around in the cage on a fucking ball, given what happened at, what was that, GDC a couple years ago with God of War, the first one? And a lot of people are starting to look back at that and think, Jesus Christ, Darksydephil fucked the game up for us because they used your dumbass as the guinea pig to determine how the game is being played now. Interesting. Interesting. Oh well. Maybe I'm digging too deep into that one. We'll see.
Moist Critical apparently has seen misinformation videos about me and then talks about them like everyone else. You know, the only reason I brought it up is because if you remember, just a few days before he had publicly brought me up in one of his streams, I had said I wanted to do a public interview to basically give my side of the story on all of this misinformation that's all about me all over the internet. I felt that for too long it had been one-sided. Everyone just saying the same dogpile shit about me with no value. You know, have I responded to that stuff in my own content? I have. How many people watch DSP Gaming? On stream, a few hundred a day. On demand, a few thousand a day. So that versus, you know, giant YouTubers always saying the same negative memes about me because they just believe everything they hear. If I had the opportunity to actually talk to someone and say, hey, here's my side of the story about everything that's going on, obviously at least it would be out there, right?
But that wouldn't change anything. And he's actually, he's admitting to that, if you think about it. That doesn't change anything. Moist Critical or whoever you'd be able to get, it's not going to change my opinion on you. I don't think it's going to change most opinions on you, if anything else. And I think someone like Moist Critical understands that. I mean, Jesus Christ, someone like Mutahar, who is very well respected as well, he's not going to change my opinion of you. But then again, you can't really change his opinion of you. So there's that nonsense. So you just getting it out there to get out there means what? We're just going ahead and throwing pigs into the ocean and shit? Is that what this is? We're going fishing for bacon now? I don't mind. I'll chase after it. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably be one of the last boats to get out there. But I'm going to chase it. You know what I'm saying? As anybody else will. But where are you going to get with that? Let's go, and to give you guys an example, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, the next round of SnortBucks is on me. It's getting cooler out there. There's a lot of great flavors, of course, as as well as the flavor that this brand was kind of helped built on. This year's pumpkin spice is absolutely fantastic and has a bit of vanilla bean in it too. Yes, delicious. Big ups to Chio. So you guys may want to go ahead and check that out. Anyway, the next round's on me. It's the least you guys could do. You know, try it, see if you like it. How is it that you're not going to be able to ever change anybody's opinion on that? And like I said, my example is look at the quartering. First off, why did you choose the quartering in the first place? Makes no sense. Because he has a really ugly narrative on his ass too. A lot of people look at Jeremy as harmless. But then there was that time that he was sucking Sargon's dick and he went ahead and got drunk one night and tried to taunt Medicare in like an hour video. It's out there and whatnot. And he literally was spewing off as he was drinking his box wine how he was going to pull gay ops on Medicare's stream that was going to only happen a couple of days later. So it's not like that would have been a good way to go about it. But then I can even go even further. That's more of the scumbaggish type shit. This is someone who got beat up by a dude in a dress. Yes, he did get hit from behind. He was sucker punched. Whatever. But he ended up getting sucker punched by some dude in a dress. Got busted up a little bit. And then ended up getting banned. This is actually not funny. Actually, I actually do kind of feel bad for him in this part. But he got banned from this game convention that he had gone to for multiple years. He got banned from it permanently. Or, I don't know if maybe permanently. I don't know if he's ever gone back. But I know he got banned from it for a while. A number of years at the very least. He got banned, and he didn't even really do anything. They weren't even at the venue. They were like somewhere across town or some shit. Well, anyway, there's that. Quarter Pounder isn't exactly someone with some real credentials, to be honest. Yeah, he has a lot of viewership. A lot of people have a lot of viewership. More hate viewership. He has a lot of hate watchers, I should say, because that's the truth. He has a lot of hate watchers, and he knows it, and whatnot. But he has a lot of viewership. But that interview didn't do shit for you. It didn't even do anything for him, and he had what, over 100,000 subs at that time. He hasn't broken 100,000 on that interview to this day. But if you want to talk numbers, Phil, I got you. So when... Ooh, who's someone that's a good example? It's a Gundam. It's a great example. It's a Gundam did a video going over the Anonymous leaks. And that's hit 1 million views, I think. And I don't think he has nearly the amount of subs as Jeremy has. And you see where his reach and his influence got him. And that's not the detractor community, because there's not 1 million people in the detractor community. Not like that. See, someone like Gundam taps into a market that's outside of what he does. Or he can expand upon it. Same thing with Josh from Kiwi Farms, same thing with Medicare, so on and so forth. Medicare did a killing off of his old video on Wings of Redemption. I think it had almost 1 million views, and he still deleted the video because that's what Medicare does. But that's what kind of influence he has. See, you've given up on the concept of having someone with influence. You just want to talk numbers. But then you know that it's not going to do you any favors, and it's not going to do that individual who's doing the interview any favors. So now you just want it to be out there. But that makes no sense, because then you're just going to get idiots like me that are going to go through and cut it down. And I'm not going to cut down the interviewer, because they're not my target. You are. So then I'm going to sit there and take a 2-hour interview and blow that shit up to fucking 12 hours, just calling out all your lies and bullshit. So what good is it to even have it all out there? And now that you are not going to have, MC to actually do the interview with you, maybe, just maybe, since you want to chase numbers, right? Maybe you should do multiple interviews with multiple people. Alas, you can't do that, can you? See, you're such a pathological liar that you can't keep your story straight. And since the individual that you're going to do the interview with is more than likely not going to put it out right away, if each one of them has a stagger, if you will, on when they release the interview, that means the same question or the same question reworded. Try to stick with me on this, Phil. Try to follow me on this. The same question that may have been reworded multiple times, you're going to have a different answer for each one for that question. Or questions, I should say. Which is really just the same questions, just reworded. Now, we're going to have some discrepancies. Now, you're going to get someone like Secret Life, or The Outsider, or Aqua Teal, or SnortBucks, or even Mighty D, if they come in and out of retirement, that is going to sit there and cut that shit up, and then show where you lied through all these different interviews. So, of course, you don't want to do that. But since you can't get one person who has a large following to actually watch you now, because you can't even get the interview, your best bet is to go this way. But you won't do that either. Because, like I said, you're going to get yourself caught up in some bullshit. So that's going to be a problem. So what are you going to do now? You have these 3, quote-unquote, in air quotes, phantom options out there in the wings. You might as well grant all 3 of them an interview. But see, you're probably not going to do that either. You're probably just going to be discouraged, and we may not even see that interview. It may never even happen. But then again, we shouldn't even really call it an interview, because you really were just looking for someone who you could commandeer their platform so you could pull out your bullshit about these people harassed me, yada, 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 everything is a lie, yada, yada, yada. Don't pay attention to any of these top 10 videos or any of these documentaries on me, because none of it's fair and none of it's true and none of it shows any of the good that I've done, yada, yada, yada. End of story. Ironically enough, though, could any of you think of anything good that DSP has ever done? I can go ahead and give you guys one. He's put money in a lot of detractors' pockets. He's definitely done that. His idiocy, his incompetence, his very negative being has put some money in a lot of people's pockets, to in turn invest back into their content to make even more entertaining content, or to go to some worthy causes, as in charities, so on and so forth. The same charities that DSP would never give money to, would never see the value in doing it. So there's that. I can't really think of much else. I'll take some time to kind of run that through.
Believe it, a lot of people probably wouldn't, but at least my side of the story would be in the public eye. And that's all I was asking for. And then literally, like 3 days after I had announced that I wanted to do an interview, Moist Critical goes in his content and says negative stuff about me. I was like, that's exactly the point I'm making. YouTubers of his caliber talking about me like this, misrepresenting me because they don't know any better, right?
Wait a second, but just because it's negative doesn't make it untrue. And then aren't you the one who essentially put yourself, I was going to say withdraw, but listen, that's not the proper term. Didn't you essentially, you put yourself on the 12-step program to not fucking beg anymore? But wait a second though, Phil. Haven't you told us for years on end that it's not begging, it's business? It's not begging, it's advertising? Did you not say, and I'm almost saying this word for word, snort for snort, defiant sniff, that if you do not tell people how to donate to you and when to donate to you, people won't do it. This is your business. This is part of your business. Because you can't get sponsorships, you can't get advertising, you can't get endorsements, so you have to rely on crowdfunding. So it's not begging, it's crowdfunding. Wait a second, though. Didn't you say, though, that the reason why you can't get sponsorships and you can't get endorsements is because the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are always fucking with you? And they're always removing you from these very lucrative opportunities, like, supposedly, in air quotes, how they got you kicked out of the Twitch bounty program. Bounty board program, I should say. Wait a second. But didn't you also say that the reason why you don't take sponsorships, you don't take this outside money, is because, one, you don't want to be beholden to anybody, and two, you're not a sellout, you're not a shill, you're not a walking billboard? And if you were to do any of those things, you would disclose it to people, right? Wait a second. But was that Mario Sonic Winter Olympics? You didn't disclose that. People had to rag on you for spending $60 on that game, and then you went ahead and revealed to people that you were given a review code or a influencer code. You didn't disclose to people that. You made people believe that you bought it. Interesting. Matter of fact, Phil, take a walk with me. Open your mind to me for a second, Phil. Plague Tale 1. Remember that, right? Was it like a $40 game at the time? Maybe it was $50. Maybe. I don't know. Remember how you said you didn't have the money for it? Remember how you said it was like on a Monday or Tuesday, you do not have the money for this game. And you need to come up with this bread. You need to come up with this money for this game. If not, you're not going to be able to play it. And for the next 4 or 5 days, people threw all this money at you because they really wanted to see you play this game. Because you had built up the anticipation, if you will, to play that game. Didn't you make like $570-something on that? Yo, Diggs, don't we got that somewhere? It's on like a hard drive or something, right? It's on a hard drive somewhere, Phil. But Mr. Huffstuff did a video on that. I know he did. I'm confident in it. And you ain't sat there and ripped those people off of like $500-something plus for Plague Tale. Even though the prevailing theory is you already had the money for it. You just wanted more money. You felt that tips were running kind of skinny, kind of skimp, if you will, the week before, and you thought you needed a way to make that money back up. So you thought if you could go ahead and deprive people of the opportunity to watch you play this new release, right, that you've been hyping up, that maybe that would motivate them to give you more money. See, there's a couple more examples I could give too, but then again, this means it's going to run long, and I have so much more I want to say, and, you know, not that your wife, Catherine, has ever had a problem with me running long, but we'll come back to that. So how is it negative, though? But one more point. So how is it that, so just because something is negative doesn't mean it's not true. So when he said that you were begging too much, or your begging was egregious, or whatever, I'm paraphrasing, he wasn't wrong. And to reinforce what he said, you decided to change. You decided to change your whole, quote-unquote, advertising business model to try to beg less. And yes, you've gone ahead and made the argument over the last couple of years that, oh, I don't want to beg. I don't want to have to do this. I hate doing this. I just want to sit here, play games, and have fun. I don't want to have to do this begging thing, but I have to. So why did it take Moist Critical to bring that up and make that happen when you've had this quote-unquote mentally ill hate mob who did it for years? And then here's even more irony to that, Phil, It's the mentally ill idiots that are over here that are the ones who had inspired Moist Critical from watching the content to say that, hey, what you're doing is wrong. So by you changing the business model, you reinforced what Moist Critical said, which in turn reinforces and validates and verifies what the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics say. Well, I'll be damned. Oh well. We went about that in a roundabout way, Phil, but you get the gist.
That's all they hear when all they see is the negative memes and the viral memes that's toxic shit about me. What do you think they're going to believe? Right? So, it is what it is. Am I upset? No. Did I expect that Moist Critical was going to want to interview me? No. Quite the opposite. Right? Quite the opposite. I didn't think at all that he would be interested. I think that for me, or for him, I'm just one of these interesting memes on the internet to reference every once in a while for a laugh. And I think that's probably all I ever will be. If I do...
Wait a second. Doesn't Rich say the same thing about you too? And yet, it's not okay for... I don't even know why I'm defending Rich, because I have no fucking reason to. But I do kind of want to reinforce what James Lester said, so... Friends helping friends. Rich has essentially said something similar to that, and yet you had a problem with it. Medicare has said something similar to that, and you shot that down too. I would assume Mutahara has said that or thought that at one time or another, and you shot that down as well. I don't know. It's semantics, I suppose.
Public interview, you know, with someone, which I am still in the talks of. You know, right now it's actually more on me than anyone else. Like I said, I actually have 3 different people who are interested in doing 3 completely different kinds of things with me. And I basically told all of them it just has to wait because I'm so busy with new releases and everything right now. I don't even have time to consider doing it.
So you put your piggy puss out on the street and basically say, come get it. And then, if these 3 people even exist, then 3 guys come a-calling and you say, oh, shop has been closed up until, what, after the holidays or whatever the case may be? Stupid. Did you not think that maybe they wouldn't be interested in doing so? Let me give you an example, Phil. You know how you always bitch and complain about, you guys asked me to change my content this way, or you guys asked me to add this to my streams, or you guys asked for me to play this game months and months and months ago, and now I'm playing it, there's no interest. Yeah, timing is everything, retard. Just to put that out there for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can cook expired bacon, but if it don't taste good, then what's the point? Or if it's too expired. If it's like just too out of date, if I can't go ahead and apply that to something recent, then, you know, outside of refreshing people's memory on the lore, it kind of doesn't, you know, it doesn't really mean much, so to speak. You know this. You've conducted these stupid ass tactics year in, year out, and it fails you. So you think you're just going to go ahead and keep all these people on the back burner, and then in a couple of months they're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, sure, Phil, whenever you're ready. Why? Do you know what could happen in a few months? Do you know what could happen in a year or half a year, if you will? It doesn't make it worthwhile. If you're trying to strike while the iron's hot, or while the grill is hot, if you will, then so be it. Then make an effort to do it. See, you don't want to do that because you're not getting what you want. Those 3 people in those 3 separate interviews, that's cope. That's clearly cope. Because the 3 people that are on the back burner right now, no offense to any of them, if any of you actually exist, but you're not who he wants. He was banking on Moist Critical. And then the other people that he wants, he's already turned them down. And then the other people who were good options, he's already denied them. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to reach out to Mutahara, for example, behind the scenes, but you already have him blocked. So you coming to him on your hands and knees like a cuck is going to be kind of hilarious because he's going to say as such. He's going to say, yeah, you know, I'm doing this interview because DSP reached out to me on DMs and whatnot after he had me blocked and asked if we could do an interview. He's going to call you out, as he should. So that's not going to do you nothing. And then Mutahara has been laughing at you for a number of years. So he knows a decent amount of your bullshit. So, and he's not going to let you just commandeer his platform. You're going to have to answer for some shit. You're going to have to bleed a little bit to make this all work. And everybody seems to know that and or understand that, but you. So now you're thinking, so now what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and wait until everything cools down and there's no interest behind it anymore, and then spring up and do the interview and no one's going to really care? All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, I don't even have any free time at all. Just like I said, this Monday night, I'm filming private react videos for patrons that I've owed them since the beginning of this month. You know, I'm just getting to this stuff. So hopefully when things calm down, right? With all these new releases and everything, I can actually sit down and make a decision about who I want to do it with. I'm still in active talks with 3 different people who are all interested. So, you know, I'll let you guys know when I have further information about that. But I had zero inklings that Moist Critical was going to want to do any kind of interview with me. That was just a timely example of exactly what I was saying when I made the effort to say I want to be interviewed. That all they
this right here, for example, if you guys are keeping up with the Law Tube drama, and that nonsense with all that shit with Nick Ricada or whatever, this right here is the example of that struggle session that that Nick Ricada was talking about. That's literally what this is. Literally trying his damnest to make you believe that, oh yeah, he was never gonna give me an interview. I wasn't hoping for it. I just really wanted to make the example that, hey, all this negative shit that's said about me online, one of the big guys have finally fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. And you know, I was hoping for an opportunity. I was hoping that maybe he would look deep within himself and realize, you know what, let me give this guy Darksydephil a platform and let him speak his piece, and let's see what he has to say about it. And he didn't give it to me. And if you guys don't believe me, then I'm going to bring it back a little bit. But let's let the video go further on. You'll see what I mean.
But I had zero inklings that Moist Critical was going to want to do any kind of interview with me. That was just a timely example of exactly what I was saying when I made the effort to say I want to be interviewed. That all they hear is the meme. And literally all he says about me are the memes. Oh, Phil's an e-bagger. That's all he cares about, blah, blah, blah. That's the meme. It's the fucking meme. Come to my stream and tell me, you know, especially the last week and a half, I made a concerted effort to cut it out. All right? I got a wake-up call from my viewers, from other people, YouTubers like Moist Critical, saying he's an e-bagger. And I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm going to cut it out. You know? I'm still going to mention, hey, we got a special reward tier today, and you want to hit this, you see a hat or whatever. That's different. But I'm not going to sit here and just constantly be talking about stuff like that, you know, any longer. I changed. And I'm going to try to stick to my guns about that, all right? What are you going to do? That's life. You know, people give me a wake-up call. Okay, I changed now for the better. I'm glad people give me a wake-up call, right? So there you go. But outside of that, you know, how are you going to tell me now all these terrible criticisms about me, or I should not even say criticisms, but these terrible things that are said about me that aren't even true anymore, right? What's next, right? What's the next meme?
You see what I'm saying here? He literally was like, hey, you called me out as an e-beggar. I acknowledge that. I'm changing. Now you need to reward me. And you should reward me with that interview. That's literally what he just said. He was like, you called me out on some shit. I looked at myself and been like, well, yeah, maybe I should stop that. I changed for the better. Why aren't you rewarding me with this interview? Why aren't you rewarding me with doing what I want? That's literally what he's saying. I stopped e-begging. This is what you criticized me for. Now you have to do me a favor. How did you stop e-begging help MC whatsoever? That didn't change anything. That doesn't have some wider impact to his content. You're supposed to make changes for yourself. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't sit there and stop e-begging so... you didn't even really stop e-begging because now all the unrecorded beg sessions, you know, the stuff that Ann Leet used to do. Now a lot of those things are starting to come back out. So much for falling off the wagon already, right, Phil? Right, Phil? Right. How is it that... What makes you think Moist Critical even owes you anything? You changing or you stop e-begging is supposed to be for you, not for anybody else. That's supposed to be one less thing for us to point at. Yet again, that was supposed to help you. He's literally saying, I changed for you, Moist. I changed for you, Moist. To fight Sniff. So why don't you just give me the platform? Why don't you just give me the interview? I was a good piglet. I did what you wanted. So why don't you give me what I want? Me! 40-year-old man. 40-year-old man with a business on the internet, been around for 14 years, begging some dude who's probably 20 years your junior for an interview because you stopped e-begging for like a week or two. That's what we've come down to. Holy shit. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. It's not even the fact that you're just a cocksucker, right? But you're a lazy cocksucker. Oh, hurtful. Kind of like your sister-in-law. Just lazy and pathetic as it pertains to the game. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, what the fuck did she get on? Matter of fact, Phil, I know you don't like thinking about this, but why the fuck did fucking Jenna get on her hands and knees to suck some dick if she didn't know what she was doing? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? You know what? Detroit, you know, her boyfriend, whoever the fuck that guy is, and he must be in jail or rehab at this point. But boy, he should have done better. He should have done better, because be damned, you're gonna go ahead and put I can't even say bottom bitch because it's not like he's a pimp, but it's a damn shame you got your girlfriend out here can't suck no dick. That's unfair, boy. That's a problem, son. That's a bit of an issue. I'm not saying that makes or breaks a relationship if the drug habit doesn't do it, but god dog, Phil. Sister-in-law's a failure. You're a failure. God damn. Hurtful. It's hurtful. It's embarrassing.
That's the thing. You're not going to be in next to me. It's just going to be the same shit over and over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I don't really care. Just being honest, I don't care. I already have stuff in the works for what I was interested in. But I have no idea if he said any other comments about me. I literally saw a 60-second YouTube short. That's where it ended. I was like, well, oh well. Move on. No big deal. Have I noticed any dip in support?
That is essentially the end of the... That's the end of the moist critical beg for an interview segment. It is what it is. Now, we're not done though. We have, I don't know, like maybe 7 or 8 more minutes of content here, and this is other stuff that Diggs had basically cut out of his pre-stream or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it is. We'll see if any of it's interesting or whatnot. We'll go from there, and then we will reconvene for final thoughts and close up shop for today. Oh my god, that's so bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. At the end, when he literally begged him, he was like, it's childlike. And for a child, it's not pathetic because it's a child. But you're a grown-ass dude. In a lot of ways, actually. It reminds me of Cobra. It reminds me of King Cobra, JFS. When he gets called out for some bullshit, he'll change for a couple days so you can't call him out on it anymore. But in actuality, he's going to slide right back in. Sorry. He's going to end up sliding back into the bad habits, I should say. It's just what he does. And it's, yet again, it's another symptom of a lolcow. Because Review Tech USA has done that. He has said and done shit and whatnot. Let's go with one of his biggest things. He's made a lot of promises in the past on shit that he couldn't follow through with. I can't really necessarily hit on him for that because there's a lot of people who do that shit, myself included. But he made promises that he knew that he wasn't going to come through on, and then makes an apology video saying that he'll do better, he'll be better, yada 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 yada, and then slip right back and do that shit again. After a while, at least the way I see it, I never understood why Rich even bothered apologizing. You knew you were going to do that shit again anyway, so what was the point? I don't know. Maybe someone will do an interview with one of his ex-wives. Maybe she can shine some light on it. Anywho, let's go ahead and see what else we got here as it pertains to some of the stuff that happened in this podcast, and then we'll keep it moving. I guess we can just call this a super cut, if you will. But funny stuff nonetheless. Like I told y'all the interview wasn't going to happen because it doesn't benefit Moist Critical to do it. He was better off. He's just going to wait for the interview to happen. He'll watch it. And if there's anything that he feels that's interesting, he'll put timestamps in that bitch and then he'll do a video on it. Period. It's so... With all due respect, whoever it is that does that interview will be wasting their time, essentially, because there won't be any long-term growth that'll come out of it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's reacting to it will get more benefit than anything. For the interviewer, your biggest claim to fame, let's not say it like that, because that's being kind of being a nihilist when I say something like that. Blackpilling. The biggest incentive that you have is either A, you can, I won't say trick, but even though, it's too easy sometimes. Phil's sister-in-law knows a lot about tricking. Anyway, your biggest gambles are either A, getting Phil to slip into something, or cornering himself into something that he didn't mean to, and having him follow through on the full answer, or B, having him or hitting him with a hard question that he can't explain away, and he just leaves the Discord call, or he just leaves the interview altogether. Those are your two biggest ends, if you will. And I'm sure people will reach out to you. They'll want to talk to you on a podcast or something like that to get what your initial thoughts are. It could be interesting like that, but nothing in the long term. And DSP has pretty much said it. He's like, he doesn't really care about you benefiting in the long term. It's about him getting his message out. That's it. There is no payoff for you. There is no incentive for you, despite the fact that you worked hard to build the platform, or you're building the platform for him to take advantage of, and he's still willing to give you less than nothing. And like I said, Moist Critical saw it for what it was, because he's been shying away from this whole DSP nonsense ever since DSP's name came out of his snout. So it's no surprise it ended up the way it did. It takes a lot of pressure off him, and if the interview does ever happen, he'll be one of the first people to laugh at it. Maybe not publicly, but to himself, he'll certainly be one of the first people to laugh at it. Anyway, there you go. Let's go ahead and go on, get on with the rest of this, see what comes out of it, and then I'll let you guys go. Here we go.
Because I stopped e-begging. Honestly, no. Honestly, no. Not at all. You know? Everything's been... Have I noticed any dip in support because I stopped e-begging? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. Not at all. You know? Everything's been good. So, maybe there's something to it. Maybe people were correct. Maybe people got so fed up with me constantly asking for support that they weren't supporting. It could be, you know? So, I don't know. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like I said, if we're close to hitting a goal, yes, I'll mention that, right? But I'm not going to be sitting here actively saying, oh, I need this, I need that, here's what this is going on, that's going on. No. I'll even give you an example, all right? Let's say, for example, and by the way, this is not the case, don't worry. But let's say, for example...
I don't know what kind of backwards pignosis coping that was, but okay, buddy. I stopped begging, so now people decide to give me money. Sure, I suppose in some backwards universe. With that being said, though, how's he going to end up making this 1025 member goal? How are we going to do that? And isn't there like another big dip coming up? I don't know. I have to look at like Pop or Piece of Pieces, big ups, Piece of Pieces tracking sheet to see when the next big dip's going to come about. And now that I think about it too, isn't this membership goal supposed to be for the Christmas marathon, where he's going to sit there and drink room temperature eggnog and like piss for beer, like piss for alcohol by volume beer, I should say, and act like he's drunk and act like he's having a good time? I don't see a whole lot of support for that. And those things are always terrible. Like, it'd be different if he was like taking like shots of like wild turkey or some shit, or if he actually maybe got real eggnog from the store and mixed some like scotch or some brandy or bourbon in it or whatever. Then that'd be a little different. He's not gonna do any of that because he don't know shit about alcohol except for fucking gin and rum, essentially. So I guess that's gonna be whatever it is. Another depression session there, I'm sure. But how long until we beg about that? And you just heard it here, folks. First, ladies and gentlemen, that he's gonna stop begging. He's done begging altogether. I look forward to see how far that goes. And yet again, it just kind of goes to show how far the influence of anybody who he has no choice but to respect goes. But then that's ironic though too, because in a lot of ways, how is it that you would put Moist Critical on such a high platform, but you wouldn't put PewDiePie on that platform? And I can answer that for you. DSP feels like, in some disgusting, sick sort of way, that he made PewDiePie. He feels that PewDiePie only exists because of him, because PewDiePie watched him early on. Well, PewDiePie watched a lot of people early on. For fuck's sake, PewDiePie used to be a Call of Duty YouTuber for a while before he moved on into the independent game market, which is where he really got the niche. If anything, some people actually contribute the growth and the ongoing prosperity of the independent game market to PewDiePie for one reason or another. Mainly because he shined a really bright light on it, especially the horror game genre, of anything. So anyway, so that's the reason why he feels that he doesn't have to respect PewDiePie, but you know, he can hold Moist Critical in some type of high regard, or MC. I don't know. That's a weird way of thinking. Really, really strange. And you got to think though too, 5 or 6 years ago, PewDiePie might have been willing to give him that interview. He may have been willing to give him that platform before DSP went full-blown asshole and said that, you know, PewDiePie didn't deserve to be the biggest gamer on the internet because he wasn't really a gamer, and then all the other criticisms that he's had as well. So, yet again, another example of burning your bridges, and this is one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that you should really take into consideration. Don't burn your bridges. Certainly. Keep your opportunities open. Because you never know. You never know. And never say you're never going to do something, because you never know how life comes at you fast. So you never know how your situation may turn about. At least for most things anyway. So just try to keep an open mind and keep your options open, I should say, more than anything else. If not, you're going to end up like this idiot, and you're literally begging for people to do interviews for you. Not even with you, for you, and it pans out to be nothing. So that's something to think about.
Something happened that I wouldn't have been able to afford The Devil in Me this week. It would have been this simple. Here's what I would have said this morning, okay? Hey, guys, so here's some news. Some stuff came up. I can't afford The Devil in Me unless maybe we have a really good day today of support. So if that happens by the end of the day, I'll let you know. If not, we're just going to shift the schedule around a little bit. We're going to do this game and this game on this day, and then we'll do The Devil in Me later, or we won't do it, and we'll do something else. And that's it. Nothing. There's not going to be any woe is me, end of the world shit. There's not going to be me, you know, oh my God, please support. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm just going to, every day I'm just going to take it in stride and take everything like normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to freak out about shit anymore. You know, there's no point.
Wait a second. Wasn't only a few weeks ago, if not a month ago, you were saying that if people couldn't support you on stream with contributions, that they could send you game codes, or they could send you points for like PSN, Nintendo, Xbox to help you with the cost of games? That was a thing, right? That is something that he said at least in the last month or so, right? Okay. And then I could just go ahead and rehash what I said about Plague Tale, but essentially that's what that was. But we'll see where this goes.
In truth, acting like about it, like talking about it, ended up giving me more stress than anything else anyway. You know what I mean? Flaccid Bono, you're a complete idiot. He says, oh, you just did it. You're being subtle about it. First of all, that was a hypothetical. I just said it wasn't even true. So...
All right, let me jump in, because I'm going to have my dudes back on this one. Not DSP, the guy who tipped, even though I don't condone tipping. Well, maybe you did tip. Maybe you just randomly said it. You might have just randomly said it. Let me see something.
Flaccid Bono, you're a complete idiot.
Yeah, Flaccid Bono just said it. All right, so big ups. All right, we're gonna have Bono's back on this one. That's exactly what DSP's done. Okay. Let's try to calm this down for a minute. What you said is classic e-begging. You want to know why? Because you sat there and hyped. Let's look at the whole picture for a minute, right? Let's look at the whole scenario. You basically said you were interested in playing said game when it was probably announced, or once people really started hyping it up on Twitter, because that's how DSP determines anything has value, is on Twitter. And then you started promoting it to your audience. Hey, this is what I'm going to play. Now, you're going to try to say, oh, well, you know, if I find out the day before that I don't have the money for it, I'm like, hey, guys, I don't have the money for it, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, if you guys can help out with that, great. Begging, hey, give me money to get this game, because I'm too irresponsible to buy the game myself, even though it's my job, it's my business. And if we don't come up with the money, then, you know, we'll just skip it. Yeah, that's a subtle beg. It's a silent snort. It's a subtle silent snort. SSS, get that? Anyway, yes, it's all of those things, for sure. And the person is not wrong for it. And the fact that you even gave the comment life proves it. Because if it didn't bother you, you would have let that comment go. But you couldn't. You couldn't, because it exposed another chink in what is already a rather ill-fitted and decrepit piggy armor, which is supposedly your tough hide. And that's the reason why you responded to it. Because if not, you would have just let that shit go. But see, it hurts you just that much. It was already cutting into your narrative. And I'm going to prove that, because we're going to go ahead and listen to the rest of this clip and see how he reacts to it.
You're being subtle about it. First of all, that was a hypothetical. I just said it wasn't even true. So I did a hypothetical situation, and you said, see, you did it anyway. I didn't even do it. It was a hypothetical, you fucking idiot. Number one. Number two, stating a fact is not... Again, what is it? Okay.
You see how he gave that up? Like a good whore. You see how he gave that up? Now, yet again, we all know that we're talking about hypotheticals here. The thing that hurts him, the reason why he's even giving any of this any life, is because he's actually done it. And he'll continue to do it, because that's what DSP does. That's what DSP does. I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee you, but around Street Fighter 6, when Street Fighter 6 comes out, especially if there's going to be multiple collections, or maybe not collections, but multiple editions of the game, right? Don't be surprised if DSP, because I mean, I assume it's going to be a $70 game. Speaking of which, Phil, I'm going to be on the pig hunt for you in that. I'm going to look forward to it. I'm going to look forward to it. And there's going to be a lot of people on that hunt too. But I'm really looking forward to getting you. Really looking forward to getting you. And then people like Evil AJ, people like Goji Tanks, big ups to Goji. All those people that essentially came before us, or all these people that you've ducked at one time or another or whatnot, it's going to be really, really, really funny to see you getting kind of balled into like this huge compilation that I kind of have in mind, right? I got to talk to a couple of people about it and show you ducking these people through over the span of multiple fighting games, right? Now, this is just an idea I'm throwing out there. Anybody is welcome to it if you want. But that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to getting in some matches with you. And like I said, like Evil AJ, I have no problem with putting my losses in there. That shit don't hurt me none and whatnot. But please believe my wins are going to hurt your feelings. They're going to hurt your feelings a lot. Which is going to be unfortunate because though I'm nowhere near the caliber of like a Chris G, right? Nowhere near that. Not even close. Not even close. And whatnot. I know I'm smart enough to beat you. I know that. Now, granted, that's not some great leap of anything anyway. That's just it is what it is. I assume, I can, not even assume, I can say most detractors who play games could probably beat you on a long enough timeline and whatnot. So I'm just saying that I'll be throwing a SnortBucks gift card into that bitch. Because I'm really looking forward to dismantling you. That shit's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, I just got to pick a couple of different names because after a while, you're going to start ducking people. That's what you do. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I also have this nagging feeling, Phil, that your lifespan on Street Fighter is going to be really, really short. Especially if there's crossplay. If there's crossplay, it's going to be very interesting how he's going to deal with that. Because he's going to have the PC group, he's going to have Xbox, he's going to have PlayStation. I don't know if Nintendo's getting a port, but he's going to have a really, really tough time. Especially since a lot of the FGC dudes, especially guys who are on Fightcade, they'll buy it on console. They'll buy Street Fighter 6 on console, but they'll more than likely play it on PC too. And PC is a whole nother animal. So anyway, I just want to throw my name in the hat for that one. That's going to be fun. But you're going to have a tough time, Phil. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Gonna be the hunt for bacon October in this bitch. Looking forward to it.
Really have to fucking start addressing the elephant in the room now. Stating facts. Alright? It cannot be offensive. It cannot be toxic. It cannot be insulting. When you state a fucking fact.
Wait, when you state a fucking fact, it's not offensive? So, whatever game that was, where the black woman was coming across those two people, it just said, watch out for the black backpack, whatever, because you completely worded that wrong. That's not offensive because it was a fact that there was a black woman walking up on two people and she would be compelled and prone to stealing from them? Or well, let's go ahead and go with another classic stationary shit. Let's get it. How about when that young girl was being taken from her father, right? The police were coming to take her father away, and you sat there and stated that, oh, I guess we're going to go ahead and take that young girl and send her off to the slave trade. Is that a fact too? I mean, historically that has happened, yes, and then all the tragedy that comes behind that, which I guess you condone. Human trafficking, rape, and everything else that comes along with that, especially of a child of her own age. And I'm not reading into that, Phil. That's what you said. That's what you said. Anywho, was that all fact too? Was that all? That wasn't offensive? I'm just wondering. I just want to get an understanding of that scenario. I mean, right? That's what was happening in the game. You were reacting to what was happening in said game. So I guess you mean you're stating that as a fact. So the joke that you made, or the observation that you made, really, because it wasn't a joke. You tried to pass it off as that, but it wasn't a joke. I guess that was a fact, and that can't be considered offensive, right? Okay. Okay. Alrighty.
All right. To someone on planet Earth, that is an objective truth. Okay? Objective truth. That cannot be seen or construed as something toxic or negative. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, okay, here's the situation. Because of something that happened this week, I can't afford the game. It's perfectly fine. If we have an extenuating circumstance today and things go well, I can afford it. And if not, no big deal. We're going to do this instead, and we'll get to it eventually. That's just, it's factually being transparent with my audience, rather than saying the day of, oh, by the way, I know I promised you I'd play the game all week, but we're not doing that today. Too bad. What would be more disappointing? Lying to the audience all week about what I was going to play, or actually being transparent about it, you know?
But that's what you did with Plague Tale, though. I mean, you were saying that you didn't have the money to play it, and if people wanted to give you money for it, that you really needed people to support. And people did. People donated in particular, or specifically, for Plague Tale. And you collected their money, and then later on, hey guys, yeah, I really need you guys to come through and support if you guys really want to see me play Plague Tale. Even though the money was already given to you. Matter of fact, that gives me another... That calls back to something else. What was that fellow's name? It was during a Minecraft stream. I think it was DJ Runo. I think it was DJ Runo. And he gave you $20 for whatever that game was. I cannot think of what the game is, though, right at the moment. I'm sure there's a better detractor out there that could. But he gave you $20 for a game that you said you couldn't afford. Right? And he said, hey, he'll fork up the money for you. Here's the 20. Use it specifically for that game. And you said you would. Then come a couple days later, you said that you couldn't use it. You had to use it on bills. And then the whole nonsense that came along with that. So how about that scenario, Phil? And that right there is something that was well documented. I mean, yet again, I'm really referring to a Mr. Huffstuff video, but I'm sure someone else has it. Untitled Goose Game. I think that's what it was actually called. That's what the game was called. think it was called Untitled Goose Game, I think. But what about that scenario, Phil? What about that situation? You want to come up with all these hypotheticals, which, funny enough, harken back to stuff that you've actually done. Semantics, I'm sure.
If I said, now guys, please rally today and overwhelm me with positivity and support so that we can afford everything. That's different. That's completely different. There's objectively stating something versus actively asking for something. If you don't understand the difference between those two things, I can't help you. You're an idiot. I can't make you not be stupid. I'm sorry. That's not my job. I'm not your parent. I'm not your teacher. You need someone to explain that to you, I guess. Okay? But the hilarious part about this was that it was a hypothetical, and the guy said, I just e-bagged. I'm like, it was a hypothetical. It's not even real. Jeez, you're really slow. Whew.
And it's a good thing that you don't have your wife's coke habit, allegedly. Anyway, not to think about it, Phil. Since we talking about hypotheticals and stating a fact and, so on and so forth. How would you, Phil, in retrospect, how would you look at the situation where you were asking your audience to buy you a PC and you had multiple days that you were holding these streams, right? Where you had these sessions where you guys talked about computer parts, even though you had Review Tech USA on the back burner with an older PC that was still better than yours. But you had Rich from Review Tech USA on the back burner with a PC he was willing to give you for free. I think he said all you had to do was pay for shipping. And you didn't tell anybody about it while you were fleecing your own audience. So was Rich's PC a hypothetical and you were asking and or e-begging for the parts for this PC? Even though you really didn't want the parts, you actually wanted a pre-build. You went ahead and went with the narrative that we're shopping for PC parts so you could basically paint the narrative, or no, paint the narrative is probably the right way to say it. You were painting the narrative of, hey, this is what I'm going to need for my PC. This is the PC that I'm looking for. This is the build. And you guys are going to help me construct it. And then one of you guys are going to go ahead and buy me the pre-build and send it to me. And then all's well that ends well. But then I wonder, were you going to take the PC from Rich too and keep that as a backup because you said that your PC's too old? I wonder. And then that's the reason why you got mad at Rich, right? Because when Rich went ahead and said on his stream, which he had the right to, that he was already in talks with you about giving you one of his PCs for free, that somehow fucked over your narrative on your own stream, and you ended up not getting the PC at all. You didn't get either one of them. I was just throwing that out there. That has nothing really to do with the continuing narrative that you have. I just thought I'd bring that up. Interesting.
I've noticed in some of your older videos you were heavier than you are now. What was your change that led to you to lose weight and remain that way? A lot of changes in my life. When I first started on YouTube, I was very depressed. I was a very depressed person.
Cut that shit. I mean, I'll let him talk, and then I'll give you guys the real of it. But if you want to say he lost any weight, one, he wasn't making the money to supplement his gullet, and two, Panda cooked more, and she regulated what he was eating. On top of that, when he was young, he's going to sit here and tell you that he was pudgy or whatever the fuck he was. He wasn't. He was scrawny. There are early days of him in the arcade, and he was a scrawny dude. What happened was when he moved out and mommy and daddy couldn't regulate what he was eating, he basically gorged himself on whatever the fuck he wanted. Yet again, King Cobra JF is a perfect example. The moment that guy got on his own and could buy his own alcohol, his own tobacco, his own drugs, he went to shit. DSP is no different.
I hated my life. I hated who I was. So I was drinking and eating myself to death. Every day I would wake up, just to give you an idea. Wake up, oh, I gotta go to work. So what do? Either throw one of those terrible microwave breakfast sandwiches, oozing fat and shit, throw that into the microwave and wolf it down. Or on the way to work, I would stop and get like a bacon, egg, and cheese or one of those kind of sandwiches on the way to work. Then at lunch, I would eat a giant lunch meat sandwich with like sides and things. Or go out and get fast food. And then for dinner again, it was like something it was like basically everything I ate was crazy unhealthy at that time. And
so basically now, essentially, just like now, because Kat's barely cooking, and if she is cooking, she's not really cooking, she's heating up shit. And other than that, it's DoorDash that pretty much carries the day. And then it's funny, too, that he said that when he first started, he was miserable, he was depressed and all that, but he was deep in the fighting game community at that time. And they weren't recognizing him for his talent and skills. Remember, DSP didn't start on YouTube until like 2008. He had been in the FGC at the very least since the late 90s, 2000s. At least early 2000s. It's almost like all that fighting and all that bullshit about how he was 4th place at EVO and everybody respected his skill and respected his talent, and that's why people flew out to Connecticut or were asking him to come out to their cities so they could play him and play against the best. It kind of sounds like that was bullshit. It kind of sounds like he was just some angry fucking muppet who was pissed off that people wouldn't acknowledge him on whatever little accomplishments that he was able to rack up and whatnot. And he hated himself for it because the very community that even to this very day he wishes he was part of, he can't be part of it because no one respects him because he's burned too many goddamn bridges. He took too many shots at people. He's going to sit here and call this person he was going to call the last person an idiot because they didn't understand subtle cues, right? Whereas DSP sat there and took that WWF Attitude Era shit, the same Attitude Era that he supposedly never watched, by the way, and he took it a little too seriously online. And when you sit there and say shit like, hey, I'm going to beat the shit out of you if you keep talking, you keep knocking on the door long enough, someone's going to answer you. And when they did, he cowered. Or he was crawling in the corner crying. Or he was in the parking lot on his hands and knees while, was that Mike Watson and I cannot think of dude's name right now. Interestingly enough, Jaha basically had him on his hands and knees, and he was crying to them about he was an alcoholic, and he can't control himself. Huh. Okay, sure.
Working out, and I wasn't doing anything else like that. And I drank way too much back then too. I was constantly drinking myself. You know, basically, I mean, obviously it's embarrassing, but I admit it now that back then I was just fucked in the head. And so, you know, I was in a situation where I didn't really care about myself because I kind of hated my life and everything about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was pretty depressing back then. You know, the life that I was living. And then what ended up happening is over the years, you know, I started to like my life and myself. You know, I was like, oh, there's something to look forward to today. You know, I'm making content for YouTube. People are liking the content. They're saying I actually have value on this planet. I think I should actually spruce my life up a bit here and stop being an idiot. So I would stop eating.
Now, anybody who's followed me for any period of time, you know I've already had plenty. I've had plenty of good laughs over this shit. But this motherfucker needed YouTube to justify his existence. He needed people on YouTube. He needed people on the internet to give his life value. Think about that. And like I said, this is something I've told you guys before, that this idiot right here had said multiple times that, you know, he felt like he wasn't worth anything. He felt that no one cared about him. He felt that no one took him seriously. He felt that no one thought he was bringing anything of value to anything before YouTube. YouTube is essentially what saved him. YouTube is what justified him and whatever. Now, using YouTube as a creative outlet or whatever you decide to use it for is whatever. I'm sure there's not too many people who would stake their life on this shit. If so, then you have some deep-seated problems that need to be addressed. YouTube and a bunch of faceless people on it are not gonna, or faceless people on the internet, it's not gonna help you. Not in the long term. You're putting a band-aid essentially on a situation. Just like how DSP the only reason why him and Panda got engaged was to keep her around because she was literally getting to the point where she wanted to leave him. He's admitted to this. But this motherfucker right here has the nerve to sit here and call people losers, call them no lives, say they have no value in life, and the planet would be better off without them. But this is what he thought about himself. Keep that in mind.
You know, I started to like my life and myself. You know, I was like, oh, there's something to look forward to today. You know, I'm making content for YouTube. People are liking the content. They're saying I actually have value on this planet. I think I should actually spruce my life up a bit here and stop being an idiot. So I would stop eating unhealthy. Eventually, and it took a long time, I phased the insane, excessive amounts of drinking out of my life. You know, and by the way, I'm not skinny. Fuck no, I'm not skinny. I'm just not grossly obese anymore. I would say I'm slightly obese. I am, like I said. But when I was growing up, the doctor told me my ideal body weight should be 185 to 190 pounds for my height and body type. And I think right now I'm probably around between 205, 210. So yeah, I'm about, you know, 20 pounds overweight, 25 pounds overweight. I definitely could burn it by doing lots of exercise. If I got into weightlifting or something else again. You know, I'm doing my runs. I'm running 2 to 3 times a week.
Who the fuck believes this? Honestly, I want you to look deep within yourselves for a second. DSP running. This is the same winded bitch that could barely pick up a gallon of milk, and now I'm supposed to believe he's running? And then, ironically enough, so you're doing your runs 2 to 3 times a week or whatever the fuck that he just snorted out. But yet, Catherine's in her room vegetating, gaining weight? Well, that seems weird. It's almost like you fattened her up so she would be unappealing and maybe even become a bit self-conscious if she wasn't already. So it could reinforce, her not leaving you like she left Subaru Man. But also, so it would discourage her from making content. That would be me theorizing, right? That would be me looking into a situation, right, without any real evidence and drawing to some conclusions. At the same time, though, Phil, she did have a gym membership when she first moved in with you, and she held on to that for a number of months until you asked her to stop. Then she wanted an exercise bike. Your parents gave her Christmas money to buy said exercise bike. You order it, or she ordered it, whatever. It comes in. All you had to do was put it together, which in truth she could have put it together, and probably it wouldn't be the meme that it is. You somehow fuck it up. You get the damn thing sent back, and then you pocket the money, and then you use the money on bills later. And the funny thing was, why the fuck was he using Catherine's Christmas money to pay bills when that money was Christmas money? And they were both working. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face. Oh, shit. The point being is why... Oh, he's working. Anyway, oh, that's good. That's real good. How is it that, so, yeah, that was her Christmas money. Why the fuck did he spend it? Think about that. Think about that whole scenario that I just said. Let that really sink in. Because we've all seen the pictures of her about a year ago in the passenger seat, plumped up, and everything like that. But now this idiot is walking 3 times a week when he never had time to exercise ever before then. Saying that, oh, when he was walking up and down his stairs for his breaks were exercise or sufficient exercise. Or when he and Catherine were going out on their days off and he was lifting stuff for groceries or whatever and bringing groceries from the car into the house was sufficient exercise. Or when they used to go window shopping at the mall and all that stuff, that used to be sufficient exercise. You remember all this, right? This is back when they used to actually go out and spend time with each other. Now they don't do that. But now all of a sudden he's walking 2 to 3 times a week. And now he wants to get into weightlifting? What? Let's continue.
So at least I have my wind back. You know what I mean? When it comes to, I don't get exhausted anymore doing stuff, which is great because at one point I was getting exhausted doing basic stuff. I don't anymore. But outside of that, there's a lot more that can be done, you know? But I'm doing as well as I can with what I can do with my time. My problem is not the desire to do better. It's time. Like, I actually like working out. A lot of people say, I hate working out. It's tiring. It makes me sore. I enjoy the feel of working out and getting that burn because I used to.
He is lying yet again. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig deep for this. Not that deep. I'm gonna have to dig deep for this. Okay, DSP doesn't like working out. He said that in high school he kind of enjoyed being in the weight room and all that, and his father used to teach him stuff, and that's why his forearms are so big. When we really know why his forearms are so big. Anyway, you know, he really enjoyed it, but he said that he was having one of his weightlifting sessions. He was going heavy, and supposedly he felt like a blood vessel that was throbbing or might have popped or whatever the case may be, and he got freaked out, and he never did weights again because he was afraid that he was going to bust a blood vessel or he was going to have like a brain aneurysm, or whatever the case may be. That's what that was. That's supposedly why he stopped weightlifting. Now, let's fast forward a couple years. Someone asked him, hey, man, you know, you should really start taking care of yourself. Why aren't you working out? Yada, yada, yada. He says, oh, yeah, like it's really important for me to lift something heavy, lift it up and put it back down. Yeah, I'm really impressing anybody by doing that. I don't got time for that bullshit. I don't need to do that shit. If you want to do that, fine, dumbass, go ahead. But don't ask me to do that stuff. I don't care about that. Now, years later, he's saying, oh, I really enjoy working out. Oh, I enjoy the sweat. I enjoy, you know what I'm saying, burning off the calories. I enjoy the accomplishment of getting a good pump. I just don't have time. Really? You don't have time? You got a 3-hour break from the end of your first piece of shit stream to lead into the second one. And in truth, most people feel that the second one isn't even necessary. To be honest, he should just have one long stream from, I don't know, whenever the fuck he starts streaming. Like, just do a 5-hour stream, and then he has the rest of the day off. But he don't want to do that. He's never wanted to do that. Because as long as he has that opening there, it sets up the scenario where people could really call him out and say, hey, you should be doing more, and he doesn't want to. If you really look at it, he tries to structure his streaming schedule, in air quotes, like an actual work day, like an actual 9 to 5. It's a pathetic attempt, by the way, but that's something that he's tried to do. And the fact that he thinks people fall for it is fantastic. But the fact that he believes it is even more interesting. I don't get it. I don't need to. I just need to laugh at it. So it is what it is. Let's continue.
Lift weights and do all that stuff. I like it. My problem is time. I just don't have time to do it. I'm here working 6 days a week full time, and the one day off a week I have, I'm rushing around trying to do errands with my family. You know, if I had a whole day off a week, I'd be doing, you know, can I work in excessive workouts and stuff? I would love it. Can't. That's my life right now, right?
6-hour work days is full time? Well, I guess it's full time. I guess that's 40 hours, I suppose. I guess. But Jesus Christ. Oh, shit.
Thank you.
No, it's like 30. It's like 36, 38, maybe. It's not even really a full 4. Well, I guess when a fucking Gouty bottom fucking podcast, whatever the fuck he calls when it goes long, I guess he can probably stretch 40 hours out of it. I don't even know if you could say he does a full 40 hours. If you're talking about just strictly off gameplay, what? It's 3 hours of gameplay during the day and 2 at night? So it's not even 6 hours, it's 5. And that's only 30 hours if you're talking about over fucking 6 days. But it doesn't even matter because he's still thinking like someone who works hourly. Right? He doesn't think like someone who's on a salary. He doesn't think like someone who's an actual boss or a business owner. He still thinks like a fucking employee. A part-time employee, if you think about it. Wow. Because the podcast in the morning, let's call a spade, it's nothing more than a glorified therapy session. That doesn't mean anything. Wow. Well, you see what pigs can do.
Why do people compare me to big dudes like Wings and Boogie? Because they're idiots. Like, you can compare us and say, these are guys who've been, you know, over the years made mistakes on the internet. They've been harassed for it and memed into oblivion. That we have in common. I have absolutely nothing physically in common with those men. Zero. Not even close. It's hilarious because whenever they draw me in a meme, they draw me like some fat, blobulous person. It's like, you have never watched my content. You're just a fucking idiot. You have no clue what you're even drawing or trying to say. Okay.
I told y'all he's heavily invested in detractor content. I tried to tell y'all. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Ugh. Alright. Let's fucking that shit's so bad. Alright, let me go ahead and throw on some music to close the situation out. We will reconvene for final thoughts. And that'll be it. I will let you guys go and whatnot. And I will jump back on some of my previous mistakes. We'll see if we can try to get that worked out. Oh my god, there's so much stuff here. Let's go with this for now, and then we'll placate the situation. Okay, so what was that? That was Earl Sweatshirt. Sky Zoo. Let's do this. All right, I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright. Okay, so... oh boy. Alright, let's bring that right here. Okay, so how do we finish this off? Rip to the MC interview. That never was going to happen anyway. So, you know, it is what it is on that. Yet again, he will get... any of the big name guys will get more... enjoyment out of watching the reacting to it or watching the interview itself than actually doing it. So that just is what it is on that. As it pertains to some of the bonus clips and everything, sure, whatever. Make of that what you will. Eventually, Diggs will take some of his supercuts and put them online in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure if we're going to unlist them or whatever. But if you ever need to draw from them or whatever, sooner than later, the URL for them will be made available if everybody ever needs them. Whatever the case may be. But funny stuff all around, to be honest with you. Funny stuff all around. A lot of coping. Holy shit. Excuse me. A lot of coping. Just another day in the life. Like I said, there are 2 other videos that should precede this video. Hopefully, I can get worked out and whatnot. That's my fault, so my apologies on that. If not, this will come out, and then those 2 will end up, we'll end up following it up. And even if I have to re-record them, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean, my thoughts have changed a bit, but I think, I'll still get the gist of it over, so it'll work out either which way. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I will see you guys for the next video / broadcast, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. This is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. For Snort Report, DSP News, SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Have a safe holiday season and whatnot, because it is the holiday season. It's the there are plenty of holiday hams and laughs to be had. So hopefully you get the opportunity to have that with whoever your detractor or detractors of choice are. And take care of yourselves. See you guys on the flip. Later.